Last time on Dice Funk.
I recognize you, heretic. You blasphemed. You abandoned the church. You were the reason we were burned out of town. You burned that man. From the dates inside the journal, you can tell it's hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But one of the names inside catches your attention, Erlin.
They've been in power in this town a long time.
Yeah, portraits of what seemed like the same guy, and we also know he's linked to a life-stealing knife.
The hooded figure takes out a flask.
And likes AC.
I better get my fucking weapons, or I will burn a lot more than this bar. And then drops a match on Cullen's body. You throw open the doors, run down into the cellar. In fact, quite a lot of weapons, actually. But at one end of the basement, there's a superbly locked door.
Just like, what's their deal? Like, if I was reading the Wikipedia page, like, what would be the opening paragraph?
Of this particular circle?
Yeah.
It would have to be, beware and take care. I guess we left you guys in the library, and Jess huddling outside another burning building in Stone Root.
You have to be specific. Which one? Because there are several.
Okay, so yeah, we left the two of you. We left Anne and Leon. Still in the...
Anne and Leon, everyone's favorite characters.
Anne and Rinaldo. I'm a little tired today. Forgive me. I had a long day at work, so my brain's not working as well as it normally does, and I also think actually I'm a little dehydrated because I'm really mealy-mouthed right now, but anyways. So we left Anne and Rinaldo in the book repository, and Allana, I was about to say Jane, Allana huddled with a group of refugees from yet another burning building in Stone Root. So I think I would like to start with Allana today.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's fine? Alright. So Allana.
Yes.
Fires in your neighborhood, historically have gone underattended. So you're not feeling tremendously optimistic that there's going to be much aid, coming. Especially considering how taxed the town fire brigade has been in, like, the past day or two.
Right.
This has been the worst work week in the history of the Stone Root Fire Department.
But it's during this train of thought that the only home that you've known in Stone Root will be burned to the ground, that you suddenly become bewildered that as the sun sets, a group of people pounce into action seemingly out of nowhere to attend the flames and the victims. So you suddenly find yourself overwhelmed with benefactors. Those who've fallen from windows of the burning building are finding medical aid. People exposed to fire are being attended to with cold cloths and water. And there's even a few clerics, not in worship gear, but mostly dressed for road and fighting, who are committing their powers to severe injuries. The crowd of onlookers that's gathered has mainly just arrived to watch the building burn, but they gradually have their attention stolen away to an extremely pretty man who you only just notice is midway through an impassioned speech to anyone who will give his attention. By the time you tune in, he's yelling, "High time the tyranny of the Erlin family is lifted from this jewel of a city. They're a blight on our neighborhoods, our homes, our friends and families. They beat our backs for our lives and give us less money than the blood we spill for them weighs. You see now that terror, murder, and fire threaten our livelihoods, but they're nowhere to be seen. We must stand up for ourselves, friends. We must learn to look after our own." And his speech, which comes off as incredibly well-practiced, even though my rendition of it may not be, does distract you somewhat from the fact that many of the people, none of which appear to be of an organization, are suddenly also attending the fire. Some of them are even gesturing to nearby onlookers, especially the horrified or impotently enraged-looking ones, beckoning them to come give them aid, directing them here and there with buckets, totes of water, and things. Many of these people are actually struggling to bring blankets out of doors and windows, and with legs splaying out of them and arms dangling off to the sides, with half-conscious people and smoke-stained faces, struggling to come to grips with their surroundings. But what fascinates you more are a certain subgroup of these people moving swiftly and calmly into the cellar door that you managed to open, and emerging just the same, effortlessly moving around the corner with blanketed bundles away from the showman and his crowd, out of sight, before returning in very conspicuous manners, no less than a minute later, with empty blankets in hand.
Okay.
There's some nefarious-ass blankets.
So, can I see what's in the nefarious-ass blankets, or like...
No, not from where you are right now, which I believe is looking after, Faith.
Yeah, where am I in relationship to these people?
You're a good deal away from the building. So between you and the cellar door, we'll say, it's sort of on the far corner of the building. Like, if you could imagine, you're sort of at a kind of a direct bifurcation of like a corner of a building, right?
Okay.
And on the left-hand side is the front door, where people are kind of like streaming in with buckets and trying to carry people out, and there's a lot of ballyhoo going on in that area. The man is kind of delivering his speech sort of off to the left-hand side.
Okay.
Kind of in your direction.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make a perception check to see if I can see if I can find Rinaldo or Anne.
Okay.
Popular behavior dictates that the last fire that happened, they were there. So I'm going to see if they've made their way over to the smoke, which I'm assuming is still billowing.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
16.
Okay. You don't see them nearby, but you do see Squeak.
Oh.
Squeak has kind of appeared on the scene. Unfortunately, the missive that you provided Squeak is still kind of attached.
Oh.
Look, I mean, let's be real. It was useless anyway, so... I mean, that's out of character knowledge, obviously. I'm just saying...
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to panic.
Okay, so I'm going to take the missive off of him, and I'm going to put him on my shoulder, and I'm going to be like, all right, so we got to, like, find these guys, I guess. I guess we should, like, figure out if the people are carrying these blankets out of the basement.
You're seeing people come out of the cellar door with like bundles basically wrapped in the blankets. And if you wait just like a couple of minutes, you'll see one person like come out of the cellar with a blanket that's got something in it, and then they turn around the corner, and then a minute later they come back around the corner to the cellar door with an empty blanket that looks very much like the blanket that they came out of the cellar with. So essentially you get the impression that they're going into the basement, they're coming out with something, they're putting it somewhere, and then they're going back in.
I like how the concept of hiding things in blankets needs to be explained in excruciating detail.
I just wanted to make sure that it was that we were clear on the subject. Because I felt like I didn't explain it well enough last time.
Medieval stealth technology.
Can I walk around to where they're actually, like, setting it and see where they're actually setting it down?
Are you gonna make like no secret about going to check it out, or are you gonna try and like?
I guess I should stealth my way through it. Okay, sure, I'll stealth my way through it. +5. Nope.
Nope. Botch.
No.
All right, so you take a couple of steps towards the corner that they're turning around, and the guy giving the speech kind of like notices you right away, and he rushes over, and in a very beneficent manner, is like, "You better stay back, miss. It's really, really dangerous in there. They haven't put the fire out yet. Don't worry though. I think we've almost got it under control."
What if they need help?
He turns around and looks, and as he turns around and looks, you see a couple of the people who are helping out and kind of like trying to coordinate, catch his eye, and sort of like, shake their heads at him. And he turns around and says, "I think they've got it under control for the moment."
Okay. I'm gonna step around and, walk off in a general direction towards, the church, but not, far enough away from the building where I won't cause any trouble, but close enough to it so I can still see what's going on if anything changes.
So you mean you're just sort of walking down the street and...
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep the burning building in my sight so that if I see something change, I can immediately just turn around and go back.
So you kind of step away a little bit, keeping the building within your eye line, and the busyness there goes on not too long, actually, only for probably a few minutes more, and you can begin to see that the flames that are previously visible from inside the ground floor window, the front door, because that was where the fire started, have died down a little bit. I mean, there's still tons of smoke coming out the top of the building, but gradually you begin to see your heroes kind of peel off the building and start checking on survivors. And at one point in time, you hear the speechmaker kind of give a congratulatory cheer, and tries to lead the crowd in an enthusiastic praise. Which the crowd doesn't really go for. Everybody's just kind of they sort of wanted to see a building burn, and now they're like, oh.
Oh, so how people watch NASCAR for the crashes. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. But he makes a small statement that the neighborhood is obviously quite capable of taking care of itself, and that Erlin's help wasn't necessary, and that we could do without a ruler like him, and learn to govern ourselves, or learn to love a ruler who was truly invested in the people, rather than just the profits of their labors.
Gotcha.
And then you start to see, these people who just kind of, appeared out of the woodwork to put out the fire start to, disappear. Not in any, single direction. They're not all yeah, now let's go to the bar. They all kind of scatter.
Okay. What about the surviving prostitutes? Are they, going off in a general direction, or are they just kind of staying there?
No. All of the people that they managed to get out of the building, and some of the people that you managed to warn, are all kind of huddled together on the cobblestone now. A little bit everybody's a little confused because they were just sort of ready for their life to burn down right in front of them. And then these weird strangers just came in and stopped it, and then disappeared. So they're all sort of now what do we do? Is it safe to go in there? They're all just kind of murmuring a little sort of confusedly to each other.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go over to them and see if what they're planning on doing, because obviously they can't go back and do that. Go back into there and do that. What they planned on doing.
Okay, you approach the crowd again, and it looks like Hope has been recovered from the building. She's
good.
Got a little bit of smoke kind of marring her face, and she's coughing. It looks like she got smoked out pretty good. Things were a little dark for Hope there.
I see what you did there.
Hope's back and stronger than ever.
I see the allegory.
I could just lay that on a little thickly.
Yeah, you really did.
I know everyone is really worried. I got a lot of emails. People were very concerned, but it's all right now.
It's gonna be okay for at least a few more minutes.
Hooray!
And so Hope approaches you, gives you a hug and says, Allana, what the hell just happened? I'm confused. Like, what do you think we should do?
Well, here's the thing. So Cullen's dead. I don't know how to break this to you, but his body started the fire. We had a visitor, and they were looking for some kind of weapons, and they were asking for somebody, so I went downstairs, and then they started the fire, so that's when I ran upstairs and told everybody to get out, and here we are.
As your explanation draws to a close, you notice that Hope looks considerably more confused than when you started.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know either. I'm assuming...
Hope's not very bright.
Yeah, I
assumed. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. Look, the point is that we need to go somewhere else. We need to either A, wait for Tamsin and Quips to come back, or B, we need to friggin' figure out what our next move is, or if there's somewhere else we can go, which, judging by how things usually go, probably not. So, does anyone have any bright ideas, or am I actually the smartest one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Why do I keep finding myself in these situations? Alright, look. Here.
Because you keep hanging out with NPCs.
Seriously. I gotta stop it. Here's what you're gonna do. You guys are gonna stay right here, and if Tamsin and Quips come back, explain to them that the friggin' twist burned down. Okay? You guys got that? Is that good for you? Can you explain that at least?
Faith looks at you kind of like with a sarcastic expression and says, please.
Okay. So, wait for them here. I'm gonna go look for them. I'll be back. I'm gonna take a direction. I guess I'll go towards the church and see if I can find them. Like, be on the lookout for them.
Alright. You're heading towards the church?
Yeah.
Okay. As you walk away from the crowd, you can hear like a couple of your coworkers start like complaining to each other and be like, I think it's probably fine to go back inside again. Yeah, like I'm not sitting out here in the cold night, and yeah, there's a little discontented murmuring and whatnot. Some of them are still asking questions of each other, like, who were those people? Where the hell did they come from? Someone's like, what the hell did they grab out of the basement? And yeah, like, there's just, everybody's kind of like moaning and bitching and still really confused about what the hell just happened. So, you make your way towards the church. Meanwhile, across town, so the two of you, Anne and Rinaldo, are still in the book repository, each with a tome in your hand. Anne, holding a book called A Geological Survey of the Caldu Region, by an author named Cal Ethelis. And Rinaldo, you're holding a book called A Study of Colloquial Religions of the Caldu Region, by a group called the Patura Institute.
Okay. I read it. I just devour it.
We read the hell out of these books, Johnny.
Right. Yeah? You guys are gonna, like, you're just like, oh, fuck it, it's been so long since I had a good read.
Well, if he thinks it's important, then he's gonna read it.
You know how in most D&D campaigns, they, like, murder the shit out of orcs with like reckless abandon? Mm-hmm. We're doing the book reading equivalent of that.
Oh, god damn it. That's
right. Rinaldo speed reads through this book, and then you can tell me what he learns at the end of it.
Okay.
I assume this is related to what we're doing, and it's not just a random book.
Well, do you even remember why you're in the book repository?
Yes, we're looking for information about the thing.
You're looking for information about Gorfanax.
Yeah, I know. It's just like...
AKA the thing.
AKA...
Tell me what's in the book, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to read it to me.
Who wants to go first?
Me. I called it.
Oh, you mean you don't want me to read, like, the 70-page treatise I wrote on the geological complexities of... No? You want the Coles notes?
God, man, you're so
I write so much flavor text for you guys, you never get to it.
Okay.
He's like, I don't have time for that.
I mean, at this point, you should know better, Johnny. Stop it.
So, Leon, the book that you're browsing through kind of reads more like a history textbook than like a current kind of like explanation of these colloquial religions. As a result, like at the very beginning, there's a bunch of acknowledgments and things like that. So you come across references to testimonials from Killian Erlin, Becky Parapipi, and subsequent mentions of Lucas and Malcolm Erlin both. Most of the book discusses religions in the area, small chapters dedicated to passing groups, cults, and things like that, either rising in power through times of economic trouble and waning in times of plenty. Indigenous groups rising up against structures prepared to rebut them, and even one or two kind of wrapped around the short-lived love of some opportune messiah whose rise to power or fall from it kind of follows cliches so closely it's hard to believe that it even warranted belief.
Okay, here's what I want to say, Johnny. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that I have Control F'd this book, and I've typed in Gorfanax. Go.
All right, you don't want... Okay, no extra details for you.
No.
The only reference to Gorfanax that you get comes in accordance to a group called the Caldu Covens.
I'm writing this down. How's it spelled?
Caldhoughh. Caldu Covens.
Okay, got it. I feel like I'm being, like, punked. Like, if I say it really fast, it will say something dirty. But I'm not getting it yet. So, okay. So I found the cult of Caldu, and what does it say?
That they're not witches, or even interested in occult practices, but at certain times they had mentioned the name Gorfanax.
Okay. Not witches, sometimes say Gorfanax.
I got more if you want me to read it, but you're controlled effing through this thing. I don't know how much detail you want here.
If it's relevant to Gorfanax, he wants to know about it.
Well, you don't... Okay, is that, like, relevant in terms of what I think is relevant as the writer of the plot? Or, you know, relevant as in, like, if it doesn't have Gorfanax in the sentence, you don't want to hear it?
If we're not... Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. No, this is what I'm doing, Johnny. I'm gonna roll for, what is the closest, skill related to, reading comprehension?
That might just be an intelligence or wisdom check.
I would probably say intelligence.
9. So tell me, based on Rinaldo's completely average roll, what he has gleaned from this book. I'm not gonna like sit here and make this whole episode about Rinaldo reading a book, because that's what we did last time. So
I know. I'm just like, okay, I have a paragraph here. Do you want me to read a paragraph?
Read the paragraph.
It's like a quarter of a page.
Go ahead. I want to get out of this library. Go.
So you skip right to the end of the book. You're just like, nah, fuck it.
Did the butler do it?
It's near the end that an unusually lengthy chapter about the Caldu Covens pops up. You say lengthy because while skimming through the first part of the book, you notice that most of the stuff is actually really short. So yeah, it makes clear that the groups, the Covens, aren't groups of witches or proven to be interested even in occult practices. They only ever move around in small groups of permanent membership of 10 to 20 and seem to operate independently, but always spoke to outsiders kind of with unified opinions and a likeness. They referred to Gorfanax in very vague terms, as though it were something that was around but also gone.
Gone but not forgotten. Never forget.
Not in a gone but not forgotten. Kind of like I don't know, like an absent parent or something like that. You know, like it's still their house, but you never see them.
Gorfanax went out to get some cigarettes and never came back.
Yeah, each group never claimed to speak for their entire people, but any encounter that's recorded from the people that the Patura Institute investigated met with the same hospitality, respectful demands, and insistences of certain distances from their practices. They were very protective of their routines, rituals, as well as their land. Strict devout love for the area that they had settled, and while generally gentle to outsiders, their protective nature could take over at the snap of a twig leagues away if they heard it. They never got particularly violent, but were always firm and indicated that they would be ready to engage it. The land they described did not belong to them, but to someone else, and had to be protected. The chapter concludes, though, that the Caldo covens disappeared rather suddenly, if the writings passed to the Patura Institute are to be believed, and it's clarified that much of this is thankful to the honorable donations and cooperations of the Erlin family, and that hopefully it will be of use to universities and hobbyists alike.
Oh my god. Does Rinaldo find anything in the book about the Orb of Gorfanax?
There's nothing about the Orb of Gorfanax in there.
Rinaldo closes the book and throws it across the room. And then he stands up and goes, ugh!
Take that, reading.
And that is what he does. Anne, if you want to read and tell me what you've read, that's cool.
I was reading while he was reading.
Yeah.
Those are...
Yeah. Okay. You're a little dismayed, Anne, that there are no pretty pictures in the book that Rinaldo shoved into your hands and said, "Hey, read this."
Oh, I do like pictures.
Yeah.
By the way, as this is happening, Rinaldo has left the immediate reading area and is starting to walk around. I'll get to what I'm doing later, but go ahead.
Okay, all right. First looking at the book, Austin, you kind of feel like you're in store for a real snooze fest because it's a book called A Geological Survey of the Caldo Region. Until when you open when you open up the cover, and it reveals that the author of the book, Cal Efelis, notes that it was commissioned by a Jacob Erlin.
There's so many of these fucks.
The survey book is easily the newest book of the three that were sitting on the shelf. It's in the best shape. But there's some notes written in the edges in faded handwriting, mostly illegible. The book describes mostly porous soil in the region, very little substance underneath, unlikely to support any real weight upon it, with small hints at large possible caverns under the surface. The general gist is that the bluffs of the Caldo region are utterly unfit for settlement, and generally express amazement and confusion as to how the settlers of the area have managed not to die in terrible landslides. You do find a particular passage when mentioning the settlers that Jacob Erlin very specifically had asked them to note any structures in disrepair in the area, temples, stone monuments, anything along those lines that had references or inscriptions to the writings, to the name Gorfanax on it. But by and large, the surveyors, the Cal Efelis' crew, decided that really wasn't much their job. Although they did note that there were some unusual, small, religious-style structures in the area, it was kind of beyond their knowledge, and whether or not these things had to do with Gorfanax was kind of beyond their archaeological and linguistic skills.
So basically, this whole region is real shitty, and no one would be able to live here if it weren't for something shady going on.
Anne's not that bright. What she gleans from the book is that the city should be impossible.
Yeah, I mean, when we went to
and you get scared that everything's gonna fall apart right now. You get a little you're gonna drop off into the ocean. You're sort of uh-oh.
When we went to Rotswald, they were oh yeah, everywhere else around here is shitty, but we're prosperous. It's really, good thing we have this creepy school, so like I can understand what's going on in a broader sense as far as like why would someone align with a demon to live here. But yeah, so I'm reading that, and Rinaldo throws his book across the room and walks away.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go after him.
You go after him.
Okay. I searched for while Anne was reading, because I want to be like alone away from Anne for a minute. While Anne was reading, Rinaldo tries to find bunks. Does he find bunks?
You go back to the area in which like you first encountered bunks.
Yeah.
He is not there.
Okay. Can I roll to find bunks?
Roll to find bunks, Leon.
Okay. What am I rolling for?
I guess that would be.
I mean, if you're just looking with your eyes, perception. If you're trying to use some kind of like tracking, that's survival.
No, I'm looking with my head holes.
Your eye holes. You don't see shit.
I got one.
You have trouble. You have trouble finding your own ass.
Right.
We've had 2 botches in this episode. Yeah. I think Roll20's trying to tell us something.
Okay. Rinaldo just looks really upset. Like he's not crying, but inside he's screaming. So that's what is going on right now. And then he just kind of slumps against one of the bookcases, and he just looks defeated.
Anne kind of like pads up to you.
Okay.
So what do we do now? Like, okay, first of all, we're just going to share what we read. Like, let's not...
Yeah, we don't have to rehash that.
Yeah.
It happened.
Do you have a plan if there's going to be, like, the meeting in the quarry tonight where they trade Ulick for those Gorfanax items? Are we going to, like, go there and try to help or watch or something? Or
yeah, all right, look, I don't know shit about shit when it comes to Gorfanax. So here's what let's do. We're going to go there at night, and we're going to hide, and we're going to watch things happen. And then should an opportunity present itself, we will do something. But if not, then I'm like fuck it at this point. You know? I mean, I'm not here for reading, and yet here I am in a library looking for a librarian who is apparently invisible. You know? So
he was a jerk anyway. Forget about him.
Well, good. I mean, I guess. All right. So, I don't know. You want to get out of here?
Yeah, I guess we should go sneak into the quarry now.
All right.
Because it's getting late.
Yeah, tell you what. Let's go. Should we go in the quarry and, like, hide behind a big rock? Or should we wait?
Let's go check it out first. We don't know what kind of security.
All right. Let's just go to the quarry.
Yep.
Okay. Upon your exit of the library, you notice the sun has dropped, and that it's officially nighttime by now. The city itself, though, is kind of wrapped up in a furor in front of you. There's a small contingent of smoke-ridden women and men parading in Light's Landing in front of you. There's a bit of a crowd bustle about them, but not exclusively limited to them. Night has seemed to have brought a lively discontent to the area. One of the paraders approaches you and hands you both small cloth badges. There's a crude painting of a flame on each one, and she says, "You're with us, right?" And then returns to the parade. You notice the signs are mostly about the stress, danger, and lack of resources at the Stone Root Fire Attendants Volunteer Group, who appear to have had a sudden upshoot rate of casualties and are feeling quite dismissed about the removal of extra support to deal with support from them to deal with the missing young lord when more pressing matters affect the well-being of the city.
I mean, he did say there would be consequences for actions, so...
Here's the other thing, is that you notice that in contrast to when you went into the library, the acrid smell of smoke, and a few distinct impressive plumes of it, accentuate the point of their discontent, given the fact that many of these protesters aren't alarmed by these plumes of smoke at all. One of these comes from the area of town Leon knows as the neighborhood in which the twist exists, and the other much, much larger one comes from the long pole.
Okay, that one's not mine. I'm not taking the fall for that one.
What do you mean you're not taking the fall for what one?
for the smoke coming from the building I didn't set on fire.
Okay, so you're standing at the top of the library repository steps, and you point to the direction in the one that the twist is smoking from, and you go, "That's not on me. That was not me. I didn't do it."
I'm not loudly announcing it. I just said it as a joke because this is a fucking show.
Okay.
All right. Rinaldo looks at the smoke, and he says, "You think that he sees the direction it's in, but does he know it's the twist?"
No, but you're sure it's the neighborhood.
Okay. And Rinaldo kind of looks, and then his eyes squint a little bit, and then he whispers in a tone that only he can hear, and he says, "Let it burn." And then
didn't you said you and Allana agreed to meet outside the twist in like 2 hours, right? Like,
yeah.
Anne doesn't know that, but at this point, I feel like there is a justification for you going over there because we still have a couple hours. If it's just getting dark, the meetup is at midnight.
Yeah. Rinaldo just kind of sits there and thinks for a minute because now he's thinking there's danger over there. But then he all right, Johnny, let me ask you this. This is something Rinaldo would probably know, having walked around town a lot. Can he get to the twist and then get to the quarry in time?
Yeah.
Okay, then Rinaldo explains what's going on to Anne and says we should go to the twist.
At this point in time, it's probably about like 8-9 o'clock. You know, okay. Like we're talking sunset has just kind of happened, and it's only newly twilight. You can probably get to the twist in about an hour, and it's like 45 minutes away from the quarry.
All right, so we go pick up Allana.
All right, and I want to make this like absolutely clear, guys, that the plume of smoke coming from the direction of the long pole is way bigger than one building being on fire.
You burned down a neighborhood. You set off the Chicago fire.
I mean, look, it's too late to worry about that now. What's done is done.
It might still be going on. It's like they might not have put it out yet. This might be like the Springfield tire fire, where it just goes on.
Have fire hydrants been invented yet?
I'm pretty sure no. Rinaldo, just we go. That's my plan. We go.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's go. We have to accomplish something, or I'm not going to have an episode description.
Yep. Okay. All right. So you guys start heading off in the direction of the twist. Because Allana, you've left the twist, haven't you? And you're headed towards the church, right?
Yeah. I mean, can I? Like, do I see, like, when I'm leaving the twist, do I see the other giant thing of smoke, like, in fire and shit?
Yeah. You know, the closer you get to the church, the more apparent it comes to you that there's another extremely large fire in the neighborhood.
At this point, we're setting up map markers, like this is a Ubisoft game.
There's a fire, and there's a fire, and there's a fire, and there's when we crush something.
That's how we mark all the important locations.
There you
By
go.
destroying them utterly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through that, closer to that bigger fire, cause, like, what the shit? There's a giant fire over there.
Okay, so as you get closer and closer to at this point in time, apparent giant plume of smoke, that the closer you get to appears to be like several plumes of smoke that have all just conjoined into like one big plume of smoke party. You start to see more and more panicked people, hauling like carts and satchels full of like possessions and things like that. Moving away from it. And one bystander, one onlooker, even kind of stops you as you're wandering closer and closer to it and says, "You don't want to go there." He sort of like grabs you by the arm and says, you really don't want to go there.
Why? What's wrong? What's happening?
He says, like, a building just caught fire this evening. Nobody knows how it started, but and the whole neighborhood's burning up. They can't stop it, and it's spreading. The gates are still closed at the front of the city, but we can't get out. This whole town is gonna burn.
Oh crap.
That's one way to kill all the bad guys.
Yeah, all the bad guys are also in the other town.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to the twist, and now, with this new information, I obviously have to tell the other prostitutes that we need to find a way out of the city.
Okay.
Like, we just have to. Because if it's gonna come through because I'm assuming with the exception of the quarry and Lord Erland's house, the rest of these places are pretty much made of wood, with the exception of maybe the church as well.
In my mind, the sky is filling with smoke that's shaped like Anne's face.
I really hope this whole campaign ends with a one-on-one sword fight on top of the last building in Stone Root as the whole city below is on fire. That'd be some sweet fucking shit.
Oh my god, the fan art would write itself.
Yep.
Alright, so...
I'm gonna go back to the...
Yeah, you're closer to the twist, Allana, so what winds up... You arrive, and you discover that, the people that you had left on the street appear to have moved back into the building. You can tell this because now that it's dark, there are lanterns on upstairs and everything. The front door is open. There's people kind of like waving cloths out windows, trying to like dispense with the smoke. You know, people are going around picking up broken glass and, you know, trying to put the place back in order. You're also seeing a couple of, like, regular customers sort of, like, wander up, expecting to get a drink, and then see all this, like, broken glass and, like, you know, burned wood and, like, you know, smoke still kind of, like, it's not pluming terribly at this point in time, but it's obvious that the building is still kind of smoldering a little bit. And they're kind of, like, stepping up to it, and then stopping, sort of looking around as if like, is it okay? Can I? And then like hesitantly sort of like walking inside the door. Nobody's turning them away. Everybody's bringing them in. And just as you're about to step towards the front of the building, Rinaldo and Anne appear on the scene.
Okay. So... is AC, like, the person who, that, I would know out of character that would be AC, but is that a man or a woman that I saw over Cullen's body?
You did not get close enough to determine that.
You definitely, in the episode, you can go back and listen. She asks if it's a male or female voice.
Yeah,
and
you heard the
female.
You heard the female voice. It was definitely a womanly voice.
Okay.
But by looking at the character, you wouldn't be able to tell visibly. The only indication that you have of the gender of the person was the voice.
All right, I'm gonna look at Rinaldo and I'm gonna go, okay, so some crazy lady came here and killed Cullen and fucking set the twist on fire, and I had to tell all the girls to get the fuck out, and then, like, all these motherfuckers took blankets and went into the cellar, got some shit, went around a corner, put it all down, and then went back and got some more shit, and honestly, I have no idea, and why the fuck is that over there, and I'm gonna point in the general direction of the giant-ass fire, happening, because apparently the entire city's gonna be on fire eventually, and I need to get those girls out of the city.
We were at the library, so we don't know anything about any of that.
Ronaldo, like, does, like, the slowest head turn towards Anne, and then turns back to Allana and says, yeah.
So, do you want to go follow the blanket people, or you want to come help us?
Why? What are you guys doing?
So, the Stone Rotten are gonna trade the Lord's Son for a bunch of money and some weird religious artifacts at the quarry at midnight.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't need to.
Well, no, the Stone Rotten is the gang, right? Is the gang that I work for?
Yes.
I guess.
I guess. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna look at them and I'm gonna be like, okay, they don't have Lord Erland's son. Everybody's been looking for him.
Listen. It's happening. Do you want to come with or not?
Look, Allana, let me tell you something right now. Okay? Here's the situation. The twist is weird, and you gotta get out of there. They're sex slavers. You're gonna need a new line of work, and may I recommend adventuring? It pays well, there's safety in numbers, and we loot who we kill. Just come with us, okay?
I kind of give him the oddest look, like, he just called the twist a weird place, and I just kind of look at him and I go, says the guy who was doing the Rinaldo.
Well, I had to, and if I may say so, it worked. Oh, I did the Rinaldo. I did it hard. So...
Gross. Look, sure, but who's gonna tell the girls that they need to leave?
Just, give them a hand signal and tell them to go, and then we'll go.
There's nothing we can do. They've locked the city down. It's just nothing to be done for that right now.
Okay, fine. Do you need weapons?
Yeah.
I saw weapons in the basement, right? In the cellar? I'm gonna look at Rinaldo and I'm gonna be like, yo, don't we need to be, armed or something?
I'm armed. Did you happen to see 2 morning stars and 2 hand axes down there?
There was just a bunch of weapons in the basement, I don't know. But if they were lit on fire, they wouldn't have burned because they're made of steel, right?
Am I able to go in there? Because that place doesn't like me.
You're not in disguise anymore, are you?
Alright, how about I say this? Can we just do this super quick? And Rinaldo says, hey, Allana, can you go in there and check to see if they have 2 morning stars?
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll go in the basement and see if they have 2 morning stars.
Johnny, do they have 2 morning stars?
Okay, Allana, you get into the basement and discover that absolutely every single weapon in the basement has been picked clean. They're all gone.
Okay, never mind.
I come back and I go, well, if you had morning stars, they're gone now.
Rinaldo says, damn. And then we go.
Yeah, I gave him a weapon. He's fine.
Yeah, I guess I have stuff.
Let's go to the quarry and see how that situation is.
I just want to mention, Jess, you're a little curious because there were a shit ton of weapons in that basement.
Yeah, no, you told me when I went down there the first time that there was, a fuck ton of weapons, so kind of
Yeah, it's almost as if they got moved inside of blankets.
I know, it's weird, right?
Oh my god, we have to accomplish something.
Jesus. Alright, come on, let's go.
Okay, a lightning strikes all 3 of you at the same time, and you suddenly come down with amnesia.
We're free!
Honestly, one of the things I was gonna do, I was gonna find Bunks and ask him if he knows where the Orb of Gorfanax is, and if he says yes, then good, and if he says no, I was gonna grab him and be like, who are you working for? But, that didn't happen.
I mean, he did tell us that he didn't really know much more besides those books.
Oh well. Alright, so anyway, to the quarry.
Okay. You guys make your way through town to the quarry. When you get there, though, you discover that it is incredibly heavily guarded. More guards than you've ever seen in one place at any one time.
Maybe I can dance my way into this.
More than you can count.
I say we sniper this, we watch the proceedings from a distance and hide, and then we see what's going on.
Yeah, that's good.
Wait, but maybe all this is going down inside, the cave, and we're not going to be able to see it if we're outside the cave.
That's definitely an option. I was thinking, when AC's people arrive, we try to slip in with them.
Alright, let's just wait and see what happens. I mean, since I'm guessing this isn't going on yet.
No, you've still got a couple of hours. By now, after marching across town a couple of times, maybe it's around 10 o'clock.
Okay, I'm looking for... Rinaldo looks for a place that is a good place to hide. I don't know if I need to roll for that, but that is what I want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna stay a not conspicuous distance away, so we can keep watch at the front, but also for who's coming.
Yeah, if there's a barrel, I'm looking for one of those. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's the only exit that you're aware of to the quarry. There's a lot of equipment, water barrels, slabs of stone, piles of rope, carts, just kind of hanging around. You sort of get the impression that there were people using them, and then they were ushered off site very quickly.
It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to do anything specific or obvious. We're just gonna chill.
Okay. Are we planning on chilling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not actively hiding. We're staying a normal distance away, sitting down and doing something writing.
Yeah, we're
flipping through my prayer book.
Yeah, Rinaldo gets out a little piece of paper he's been writing on, and he continues to write on it.
Okay.
Is that plot point ever going to come home to roost? Because you've been doing that for 4 episodes straight.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, and if it turns out you're just doing a fucking Sudoku, I'm gonna be furious.
So you're gonna wait until, the exchange.
Until something happens. Either AC's people show up, or Erlin's show up, or Gorfanax bursts to the ground and starts eating people.
Yeah.
Okay. At about 11:30 or so, as the evening goes on, gradually, like the general population has a tendency to thin out, but people start talking in sort of like alarmed, hushed tones about that huge fucking fire on the other end of town, and how people are really, really worried about it, and it looks like we may not be able to stop it at all. At about 11:30, you see Lord Erlin with another contingent of guards show up, and he's approached by. You see Silas and his personal guard.
Oh,
you notice that?
Hell yeah!
But when he approaches the group that's stationed at the gate, he gets approached by the one kind of like who seems to be in charge. And they have a sort of a quiet conversation. Ernan looks frustrated, really stressed out. Like he's not happy. You wouldn't go so far as to call the look in his eyes panic.
It's probably a bad idea to offer him a hug, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Now would not be a time to give him a surprise shoulder massage.
So much for that role.
He gets after having a short conversation with the guard, he has a moment where his temper gets the better of him. He doesn't yell at the guard or anything like that, but you see him kind of like his veneer breaks for a moment, and he sort of snarls and like screws up his face as if he's hit a wall and he doesn't quite know what to do next. And you see him sort of like frantically look around at the outside streets, and he marches to the entrance gate of the quarry, and he's like, you see his gaze darting around, and then he marches back and he just starts pacing and nervously fidgeting, like ferociously chewing on a fingernail and like tugging at his hair and just not having a good time.
He's having a bit of a conniption fit. All right.
Do you guys think we could take him?
How many guards are there? That's what I'm asking.
He walked in with 20 guards, and if you just, let's say during the time that you sat around and idly counted how many guards you could see at the quarry, you could pick out at least 50.
Okay.
How many did the kidnapper say they could bring?
20.
So they have not stuck to that. There's a lot more than that, yes?
Math says yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, are there any guards like right next to us? Like, or are we like a good distance away from everything?
You're a good distance away. Okay. I thought that was your intention.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I was hoping we could like stormtrooper our way in there, like beat up three guards and put on their uniforms, but I don't think that's a good idea. If they're all like in a clump.
There's no Three Stooges division that are like, peeing against a wall somewhere and like hitting each other on the back of the head and wearing their helmets backwards, if that's what you're asking.
I was really hoping that would be a thing, but
no, these guys, they all look like they know what they're doing, and what they're doing doesn't look to be something that they're particularly happy to be doing. So you got a lot of surly, alert expressions on faces.
Okay. Rinaldo starts to get an idea, and so he's like scratching his chin and twirling his mustache, and then he says, "Anne, I have an idea. Get Marshmallow to go cause a ruckus and like sort of like snap at one of the guards, and then they'll go chase Marshmallow, and then we'll be able to get inside."
I mean, this is a profoundly bad idea, and I think this might be the end of Marshmallow, but I don't have a better idea, so...
Right, I literally don't. So
all right, yeah, fuck it. What do we have to lose except our souls? Anne's gonna signal to Marshmallow to create a distraction. Basically, run by, not snap at. Like that's too risky. But run by so that everyone can see. Like 100 feet away or whatever, and just run the opposite direction. Marshmallow can move twice as fast as a human. There should be no mathematical way for them to catch him.
Okay.
What happens?
All right. Marshmallow goes runs like crazy.
Can you do the Weasel War dance?
The what?
YouTube it. It's a thing ferrets do. It's adorable.
I refuse to.
I'm not gonna do it right now because we've only got a little bit of time left. I've only got 20 minutes until I have to go to Kung Fu, and even then, I'm probably gonna end the session before then because I don't know if you guys know this, but some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, it's basically breakdancing. They can breakdance.
Okay, fine.
That's adorable.
Yeah, okay. It can do the Weasel War dance, which is not a series of words I ever thought I would say, but
yes.
It gets out into the courtyard in front of the gates to the quarry and does the Weasel War dance.
Session saved.
Marshmallow's got some pretty sick moves. There's a little bit of popping and locking in there. And yeah, the leader of the guard, who's standing guard at the quarry, takes immediate notice of that. And you see him speak to some, nearby guards. And about 10 of them, peel off from the gate and go to pursue Marshmallow. When Marshmallow begins to run away, he turns around and says, "Sir, we're not going to be able to catch it on foot." You can hear this because he's quite far away at this point in time, and he's yelling, and he says, "We're going to need horses." So the captain of the guard signals, and 10 armed men on horses come out of the quarry.
Oh my god.
He got a good lead, and he's as fast as a horse, so I'm actually not even worried.
And start chasing after
unless they have crossbows and
Marshmallow.
shoot him.
He got a good lead.
Okay.
Also, he's stealthy as fuck. He could probably hide. Anyway, let's go.
All right, look, if 10 horseback riding guards came out of the cave and chased Marshmallow, does that mean that all the other guards are just there?
Yeah, so there was 50, and then he brought 20, and then apparently there's dudes inside.
Oh my god.
This is like the Comic-Con of guards. Like, everyone showed up.
Alright, Rinaldo says, "Okay, I don't have any more ideas."
You guys want to just fuck off?
Alright, I look around for, that, what do you call it? Mining equipment? Is there anything near me?
It's not really mining equipment, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little different.
He said there was like carts and barrels and shit.
Was there a cart?
Yeah, there's a cart.
Okay. Do I see Silas?
You see Silas, standing like very, very close to the Lord.
Oh, god damn it.
He came in with Lord Erlin. He came in as part of his attaché, if you will. Okay.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Johnny's like, 7 dragons show up too.
Okay. Rinaldo, how do I say this? I want to allow Silas to be aware of that I am here in a way that no one else of the 70 other people do.
That's a performance roll, dog.
Yeah, how do I do that? Like, psychically...
Isn't that performance?
Like, grab the cart and, like, roll it around and be like, "Melons, get your melons here!" And like, try to catch his eye.
Alright, I put Anne in the cart. And then I say, "Anne, I need butt touch, now."
Okay, yeah, it's a D4. Boom. 4.
Okay, so +4 to that, and +3 to performance. Let me see.
So +7. Here we go, guys. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh my god, this is like so nerve-wracking.
17. Okay, Rinaldo puts Anna in the cart and says, "Slave for sale." Tiny slave with small hands, good for reaching things in small crevices and crevasses.
Allana's just gonna raise her eyebrows.
we're bad people and we deserve to fail on this quest.
Oh, wow.
By the way, I left Allana over there, so if we get, like, captured, one of us is still around. So that's what I do. I rolled a 17. That's pretty solid. And I gotta say, my idea was pretty sweet. So it's up to you, Johnny, how well this went.
Okay.
Oh my god. I give you points for creativity, that's for sure.
I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, you wheel out into the street and start spouting your sales pitch. And it's a little hard to miss. I mean, you know, like it's not exactly the French Connection with that like little nose rub thing, you know? It's a little more obvious than that. So quite a number of the guards notice you, but I mean, don't look immediately alarmed. Because all they see is, I wouldn't even know how to describe it.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, okay, tomfoolery. Like a lot of them aren't really focused on you though. None of them are really taking you too seriously. Because obviously everybody's a little more concentrated on the matter at hand. But you do actually get Silas's attention. You see him because you keep kind of like sidelining glances his way. And he looks up and he recognizes you. And when one of the guards, speaks to, the captain, one of the guards that's noticed you speaks to the captain, the captain gestures in your direction to him, and he begins to walk your way. Silas walks up to the guy, puts a hand on his shoulder, whispers something in his ear, and walks up to you across the courtyard.
Wait, Silas walks up to me, or the guard? Okay,
yeah, okay. Silas. Like another guard was about to walk up to you, but Silas puts his hand on his shoulder, whispers something in his ear, and then walks up to you.
Please buy me, sir. I'm really good at sewing because my tiny little hands can thread needles.
He gets close and just like, you know, almost hisses at you and says, "This is the last place that you should be right now."
Rinaldo doesn't entirely know what Silas is talking about. So Rinaldo has his like hat over his eyes, and then he lifts up real quickly and says, "It's me, Rinaldo."
What's the first place we should be? I would like to go there.
Rinaldo says, "All right, so we need to save the Lord's son or something. Look, I'm a little fuzzy on what our quest is anymore, but the point is, we're supposed to be here, actually."
Did Allana tell us about because we exchanged information. Jess, did you tell us about the conversation you overheard?
I don't think I did.
Okay. I mean, it would be out of character for you to be useful at this point. So.
Yeah, I don't even like the thing is like I don't think like because the reputation of the twist and the fact that there's so many guards, like even if they are my customers, I'm trying very hard not to be conspicuous at all.
That's fine.
That's irrelevant to everything I just said, but okay.
All right. What does Silas say?
He says, "I know it's you. You're a little easy to recognize."
And Rinaldo lifts his eyebrow up and he says, "Yeah, I am."
Please buy me. I'm a really good value.
Okay, Rinaldo says, "Okay, so, how can we help?"
He says, "I don't know that you can."
Well,
Listen.
what is going on here? I mean, you have the inside track here. So, what is the Lord saying? Like, why is he like flipping his shit?
Erlen repositioned almost every single guard in the city to the quarry when he realized that that's where the exchange was going to be. He hoped that he...
I'm sorry. As soon as Silas said that, Rinaldo's eyes like light up, but then he lets him continue.
He says he hoped that he would be able to intercept Ulick and, well, what he thinks is you three, from sneaking into the quarry in order to make the exchange, but, well, obviously we didn't find you, and we haven't found them either. And
okay, out of character, new plan. Do you guys want to break into the manor and wait for him to get home and then murder the fuck out of him?
I was actually thinking the same thing, but also looting.
What sort of thievery can we get up to?
Yeah, Rinaldo, says, okay, so, are the bad guys not coming, or what?
We don't know.
Okay, so here's our other plan. God damn it. Okay, we're gonna wait over here and see if anything happens. If something happens, we will do things. If something does not happen, we are going to go back to the manor and sneak inside because no one will be able to stop us. And then we'll see what we see.
Silas says to you, "Oh, the manor's not empty."
That feels a little bit like a retcon.
How many guards were there? Like ballpark it, like guesstimate.
He says probably only about 10.
Oh, okay, I could take 10.
Yeah, he comes home and there's 10 dead bodies. He's like, "No, this is probably fine."
No, Silas says, "No, Master Lonigan is there."
Oh shit! Oh, I want to kill him.
There's a lot of killing we could be up to right now.
Yeah. All right. We'll wait here for now and see what happens. But if things go sideways, I'm gonna like roll us in this cart and like right back to the manor and sneak inside and then just murder the shit out of Flanagan. So that's my plan. Anyway, you go back over there, honey.
I don't think this was. I don't know if this is clear because we just planned a murder in front of you, but Lonigan is a demon worshiper, and that makes it okay.
Yeah, he's the worst. He's like the second worst guy. He's like the Darth Vader to the other guy's Palpatine. So anyway, you go back over there. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Silas would understand that reference.
It doesn't matter.
He didn't say it in character, obviously.
Silas kind of like looks a little shocked and horrified at you, and then takes like 2 steps backwards.
Oh, god damn it.
And then just turns and walks away.
Okay. I still feel like he likes me.
And yells back at him, "You wouldn't know a good deal if it bit you on the face."
As he gets back to the guard in charge and Lord Erlin, you see him kind of like motion with his finger. And the guard in charge nods, and almost as soon as he does that, you see a very, very bright kind of flare-like light sort of shoot up into the sky from the quarry. And a very loud, womanly voice yells, "Erlin, I've got something of yours."
The end?
The end.
To be continued.
Fuck. Okay, it got real good at the end there. I'm gonna edit out the first half hour.
My reading was great.
No, it was not.
Next time on Dice Funk.
When you enter the room, suddenly, breaking the door down, the bears freeze. One of them even drops their teacup. It shatters, and the one in the top hat and monocle exclaims, "Oh, shit."
Even if we get caught in the crossfire and die horrible deaths, I have to say, I think this was a win overall. Did you see Marshmallow? He was super cute.
I'm pretty comfortable selling Anne.
I don't think I can top that.
As always, our theme song is A Fistful of Nickels, the overclocked remix arrangement of Shadow's theme from Final Fantasy VI. Executive producers for March 2016 are Joseph Timbrello, Ingmar Gremmen, The Cult of Gorfanax, Michael Goodell, Wayne Witzke, Brent, Jason, Dash Shawn the Rage Monster, Carl Kurtz, Eric Kimball, Harrison Andrew, Luke Powers, Phoenix Mod, Jade, Tarka, Jorit, Viger Arnston, Anna Stuhlfarer, Giorgio Renna, Christopher Charlo, Cody Jackson, August Rue, and Taylor Hoyt. If you want to support the show, there are a number of ways to get the word out, whether you comment on Channel Awesome, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Podbean, or rate us on iTunes. If you want to help more directly, you can find Leon at patreon.com/renegadecut. You can find Jess at patreon.com/ravenalegria13. And you can find me at patreon.com/austinyorsky. If you want to support Johnny, you can buy him an HTC Vive. Please, someone, for the love of God.